Hey guys, it's Kendall. For this week's question, we had, upon what foundation are U.S. public schools built? And the three questions I got from that were, is there a better way for U.S. public schools to be built than what they are now? How does the way the schools are built affect those being taught in them? And how can we as educators, current and future educators, help strengthen the foundation of U.S. public schools? I want to give a quick shout out to my partner. She probably helped me the most. She had really good answers for this, and so I'm super grateful for her. So is there a better way for U.S. public schools to be built than what they are now? Personally, my public school education, I grew up in California, and I went to public school a little bit when I lived in Hawaii. My public school education was pretty, at least in my opinion, generally pretty good. But I also think that there's always room for improvement, and that there's always going to be another, like a better public school than in an area. And I think it has to do a lot with where you are and what kind of funding you get. But is there a better way? I'm sure there is. I'm sure everyone has a different idea and everyone has different ways to be able to help. But the ones I came up with, the ones that my partner helped me come up with, were how we need to focus more on individual students instead of students as like a whole body. Each individual student has their own personal needs, and they all have things that they can work on. And I think if we were able to focus more on individual students, they'd be able to see a better education. I think we sometimes in public education and public schools, we just focus too much on test scores and things like that, like ratings of the schools. And I think it's more important if we focus on the students instead of those kind of things. Because in reality, these kids are going to school so they can learn. They have this right to learn. So I think obviously there's always going to be a better way, and those are just some ideas to make it better. How does the way the schools are built affect those being taught in them? Obviously, it's like a workplace. Obviously, where you work is going to affect how you work. So where you go to school is going to affect how you treat your school and how you learn. Obviously, all these kids have these different learning styles that they're going to have to figure out. And there's obviously, everyone's on a different learning level. Everyone learns differently. Everyone just has different family matters going on. But when they come to school, that's kind of like a middle ground of sorts. And though everyone should be treated equally, I think everyone does need certain aspects that'll help them learn more. Like I said, the most obvious answer is just the different learning styles. Everyone learns differently. I learn differently from the way my little brother learns. And if there's only one type of learning style and being taught a whole grade, then it can severely affect certain students. And so obviously the answer is yes. Obviously the schools, the way they're built, is going to affect those being taught in them. But those are just different ways that we can, like different things we can think about when we're teaching, is how they all learn differently. Lastly, how can we as educators, future and current educators, help strengthen the foundation of the U.S. public schools? The biggest thing was be an example. I think in schools, especially when the kids are younger, and even in college, I have lots of college professors that I looked up to. We just need to be an example, and we need to show that we care and that we're not just doing it for a paycheck. And I know I've said that before, but it's super important that we do that and we show that they have this right to learn. There's the student's right to learn, and it's our job to teach them, yes, but I think we need to make sure that we're not just, giving it the bare minimum to get our paycheck and barely being able to do this or barely being able to do that. I think if we're an example and we show them how much we care and we remember that it's their right to learn and it's our job to teach them and we're taking it seriously, then I think that'll strengthen the foundation of U.S. public schools immensely. So that's my presentation. Thank you.